Sir, now may I request our Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industries to kindly give his welcome speech.
Thank you, Secretary Mahapatra, my colleague Som Prakash ji, all the distinguished honorable ministers from various states, administrators of the union territories, all the officials of the central government and the states, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be a part of this very important initiative, One District, One Product, that has been taken up by the central government along with all the states to further the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi that the entire country has to take forward this mission of moving towards a $5 trillion economy in the next 5 years, and also making manufacturing at least worth 75 lakh crores. That's $1 trillion. Because manufacturing provides new job and working opportunities. Manufacturing provides value addition in the country, in the economy. Manufacturing opens up our own share and our engagement in the domestic and international markets and helps us become a global player, particularly in areas where we have significant strength. In fact, many of you might be aware about the Japanese Total Quality Movement, the TQM, Total Quality Management. If you recall, in the post-war period, late 40s, Japan was in a very serious crisis. But they had a single-minded focus to improve and upgrade their quality, and they made quality as the basis of their economic revival. Similarly, what distinguishes the United States of America or European developed countries from India is their thrust on research and development and innovation. The time has come for India to start looking outward and learning from the global experiences, expanding our own manufacturing base, but on the strength of quality, focusing on R&D to meet the needs both of India and the world. And therefore, this can only be possible when the central government and all the states of the country work together as one team, as one family. In the same spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which basically defines a self-reliant India, but not an India that is inward-looking, but an India that engages with the rest of the world from a position of strength on equal terms and becomes a recognized and trusted partner of global value chains. India is not closing its doors to the world. Rather, India is opening them wider. हम कोई विश्व के साथ अपने आप को काटने में नहीं लगे हुए, हम विश्व के साथ एक विश्वास के साथ, एक हमारे देश के बल के साथ और बड़े रूप में व्यापार करना चाहते हैं और बड़े रूप में व्यापार को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं। मैं समझता हूं कई सारे कदम इस कोविड-19 के दौरान केंद्र सरकार, कई राज्य सरकारों ने लिए, जिसमें प्रमुखता तो ये था कि लोगों की जान बचे. We had to save livelihoods first. And therefore the initial focus was to save lives. We had one of the strictest lockdowns in the world, which has been recognized and praised all over the world. During this lockdown period, India developed domestic capabilities, be it in the sphere of creating better healthcare facilities, more COVID facilities, ensuring that we have enough ventilators all over India, enough oxygen all over India, making sure that we can make our own personal protective equipment, masks, and in a way, this thrust to become self-reliant to fight COVID-19 has today helped India to keep our mortality rate at amongst the lowest in the world. Despite supporting 17% of the world's population, our mortality rate is probably under 2%. For that matter, recovery rate in India is amongst the best in the world. It's crossed 75%. And nowhere in the country have we seen any shortages, be it of equipment, be it of COVID facilities, oxygen, ventilators, and wherever in the country any such situation arises, the state and the center work as a team to address these issues. We have used the COVID also as an opportunity to bring in newer and newer, bolder reforms. In fact, Veer Savarkar had said that when you are planning something, you must be bold. But when you are implementing it, you must be calm. Boldness in planning, calmness in implementation. And the time has come now that India should convert COVID-19, the worst pandemic in the last 100 years, into an opportunity to reform, transform, and perform, as the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi often says. Towards that end, as my colleague Som Prakash ji rightly mentioned, we are working with the states to truly form a genuine single window. So far we have had many attempts at single window, but sadly the window would open to many doors behind. Let us work together in the spirit of partnership, as colleagues, as people interested in a better future for 130 crore Indians. ये जब केंद्र और राज्य मिलके काम करेंगे, ये तभी संभव होगा. आप सबको और केंद्र सरकार को एकजुट होना पड़ेगा. जो कोऑपरेटिव और कोलैबोरेटिव फेडरलिज्म, जो संघीय ढांचे का सही माने में स्वरूप होना चाहिए, उसको हम इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट में आप और हम मिलके देश और दुनिया को दिखाएं, ऐसा मेरा आप सबसे अनुरोध है. इसी दिशा में चाहे वो सिंगल विंडो हो और एक अच्छी सिंगल विंडो, हर एक अप्रूवल केंद्र का हो, राज्य का हो, लोकल इकाइयों का हो, म्युनिसिपैलिटी पंचायत का हो, हम सब कुछ उसके अंदर सम्मिलित कर दें. सरल प्रोसीजर्स, प्रोसेसेस बनाएं, लोगों को विश्वास दिलाएं कि बड़ा ही पारदर्शिता से, ट्रांसपेरेंट से हम आपके समक्ष रखना चाहते हैं. लोगों को ये सुविधा हो कि शायद विदेश में बैठे हुए भी व्यक्ति भारत में निवेश कर सके, जमीन खरीद सके, सभी अप्रूवल्स उसको तुरंत मिल जाए, जो रजिस्ट्रेशन, जो इंस्पेक्शन होनी है, समयबद्ध तरीके से, इन अ टाइम बाउंड मैनर, all registrations, approvals, processes are completed. And people across the world should feel that yes, it is easy to do business in India, it is profitable to do business in India. और ये सुविधा सिर्फ विदेशियों के लिए नहीं, हमारे भारत के उद्योजक, our Indian entrepreneurs also deserve to get the best in class service from governments, be it the state or the center. Let us work together to truly create a system that encourages more and more of our young entrepreneurs, startups, businesses, investors to look at India in their future plans for growth, particularly in manufacturing. The world is looking at India very seriously. The world wants the market of 130 crore people, but they also want to manufacture in India to leverage on the competitive strengths of India so that from India they can serve the rest of the world. As the Prime Minister said in his Independence Day address, we have to not only do Make in India, but we have to also pursue Make for the World. और पूरे विश्व का एक पार्टनर के रूप में, एक विश्वसनीय मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेंटर के रूप में, ट्रस्टेड पार्टनर, ट्रस्टेड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बेस के रूप में भारत को उभरने का मौका है अगर आप और हम, हमारे अधिकारी एक आत्मीयता की भावना से मिलजुल कर इस प्रयोग को सफल बनाएं तो दुनिया की कोई ताकत भारत को तेज गति से विकास करने से रोक नहीं सकेगी। दुनिया की कोई ताकत भारत के सामने खड़ी नहीं हो पाएगी। ये मेरा आत्मविश्वास है। मैं समझता हूं इस कॉल पर जुड़े हुए आप सभी का आत्मविश्वास है और इसी दिशा में आज जो लॉन्च करने जा रहे हैं ये एक नया प्रयोग है। शुरुआत में 6 राज्यों के साथ हुआ है। मैं चाहूंगा बाकी सब राज्य भी इसको जल्द से जल्द अपनाएं। सोम प्रकाश जी, आप जरा म्यूट करेंगे अपना सिस्टम। मैं चाहूंगा कि बाकी सब राज्य भी इसको जल्द से जल्द अपनाएं। हमने एक इन्वेस्टमेंट क्लियरेंस सेल केंद्र में शुरू किया है और हर मिनिस्ट्री में प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट यूनिट की शुरुआत की है, जिसके साथ मिलके इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्ट्री कोशिश कर रही है कि केंद्र के सभी जो अप्रूवल्स हैं उसको एक ही फॉर्म में लाया जाए, कॉमन एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म। हम चाहते हैं उसमें अगर आप सबकी सहमति हो तो राज्य और लोकल इकाइयों की भी अप्रूवल्स उसी कॉमन फॉर्म में लाई जाए और डीम्ड अप्रूवल की प्रक्रिया को भी आगे बढ़ाया जाए। समयबद्ध, इन अ वेरी वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड टाइम बाउंड मैनर, ऑल अप्रूवल्स बी गिवन so that if there is a delay, then there will be a deemed approval concept. हमें अपने आप को बाध्य करना पड़ेगा. We'll have to force our systems to work with diligence, to work with integrity, and to work in a time-bound manner. और मुझे लगता है कि ये जो प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट सेल्स केंद्र सरकार ने हर विभाग में बनाए हैं, वैसे अगर राज्य सरकार भी, और कई राज्यों में तो है ये सुविधा, गुजरात में इंडेक्स टीबी इंडस्ट्रियल एक्सटेंशन बोर्ड के रूप में प्रसिद्ध है, मध्य प्रदेश में एमपीएवीएन है, औद्योगिक विकास निगम, ऐसे ही टिडको तमिलनाडु में काम करती है, ओडिशा में भी प्रमोशन एजेंसी है, पश्चिम बंगाल भी इसमें जुड़ा हुआ है कि तेज गति से उद्योग को अट्रैक्ट करे। और मेरा मानना है कि जब हम सब अपने बाकी सब विषयों को पीछे छोड़ के, वो राजनीतिक हो, सामाजिक हो, सब विषय अलग से देखे जाए, आज हम एक होके देश की औद्योगिक क्षमता को बढ़ाने में, our industrial development should be our single-minded purpose. Like Arjuna's eye was on one goal. Can all of us, particularly the industry department and industry ministers, focus with the single-minded purpose of promoting national industrial development? And in this respect, the Honorable Prime Minister made a very good suggestion. उनका सुझाव था कि हर में कोई ना कोई एक चीज ऐसी देखी जाए जो जिला की विशेषता हो. Something very unique to every district. Can we identify that unique feature of that district? For example, for a particular district in Uttar Pradesh, it could be the carpets of Bhadohi. And we focus on making the carpets of Bhadohi known all over the world. If it is the diamond industry or the textile industry in Surat, the world should recognize that for diamonds or for textiles, go to Surat. If it is a product, let's say cashew nuts somewhere in the south or Iraku coffee, every district can get recognized the world over. And then the center and states will work together to promote that product in that district. Wherever required, we'll work together to promote facilities or clusters to develop that product in that district. We will brand that product. We will help them in design and packaging, and we will help them in marketing it, not only in India, but in the whole world. With that long-term vision, I would like to request each one of my colleagues from the states to work as a team, get involved with us in this effort so that 130 crore Indians have a better future for them. 130 crore Indians feel involved in the industrial development of India, participate in the growth of the economy, and this generation where you and I belong, we leave behind a better future for our children, for the next generation. Today's real-time based GIS mapped land bank is just the beginning of this effort. I would appeal to the other states also to join in. This is a first cut launch, like a prototype, a pilot launch. We will develop it further with inputs from all the states and improvements of technology. And I'm sure going forward, this will become a real tool for people to be able to get land in a district or in a location of their choice in a very transparent manner, in a very simple manner. And with this beginning, we will move to the next level of a single window. And over the next 3 to 6 months, if all of us come together as one family, one team, Team India, I am confident we have a bright future waiting for all of the states and the people of India. My best wishes to all of you and your families for staying safe, for good health. मैं आप भगवान से कामना करता हूँ, प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि आप सभी के परिवारों में और आप सबका स्वास्थ्य भी अच्छा रहे, आत्मविश्वास भी और तीव्र हो, और मिलके हम इस देश को नई ऊंचाइयों पे पहुंचाने का काम करें, ऐसा मेरी आप सबसे अनुरोध है. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. धन्यवाद. I am sure all my colleagues, ministers and senior officials heard the Independence Day address of the Honorable Prime Minister, and we tried to bring out the 3 important elements which relate to business and industry, where all of us can play a role, can work together. One, of course, was being vocal for local, and then going from local to global, which is in the last bullet, make in India for the world. So vocal for local, encouraging more and more domestic production, increasing the scale of production, improving the quality of production, government focusing wherever goods are available to buy Indian products, but also creating a movement all over the country that everybody starts recognizing respecting and demanding local products. जितना ज्यादा देश में जागरूकता आएगी कि हमने भारत में बनाया हुआ सामान खरीदना है, उतना जल्दी देश की आत्मनिर्भरता भी बढ़ेगी, सेल्फ रिलायंस will be better, and domestic industry will get more opportunities, more jobs will be created, more work is possible. Exports have huge potential to create jobs, to help us expand India's value addition within the country. And instead of exporting iron ore or minerals or coal, basic products, if we start exporting value added products, तो आयरन और एक्सपोर्ट करने के बदले स्टील एक्सपोर्ट करें, बॉक्साइट एक्सपोर्ट करने के बदले एल्यूमिनियम एक्सपोर्ट करें, एल्यूमिना के बदले एल्यूमिनियम एक्सपोर्ट करें, एक एक प्रोडक्ट में रॉ मटेरियल के बदले इंटरमीडिएट और इंटरमीडिएट के बदले फिनिश प्रोडक्ट अगर हम एक्सपोर्ट करने की दिशा में जाएंगे तो उससे स्वाभाविक रूप से नए काम करने के अवसर मिलेंगे और देश में आर्थिक प्रगति होगी। और आखिरी बिंदु था मेक इन इंडिया फॉर द वर्ल्ड, कि कैसे हमारे भारत में बनाया हुआ सामान ग्लोबल जा सके, ग्लोबल वैल्यू चेन्स में जाए, अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पर उसका डिमांड बढ़े और हमारे छोटे छोटे उद्योग, एमएसएमई सेक्टर, लघु उद्योग, इन सब के सामान को भी कैसे हम विश्व भर में पहुंचा सके। और इसके लिए वास्तव में आप सबकी मदद लगेगी, हम सब मिलके काम करेंगे, राज्य सरकार और केंद्र सरकार, तभी ये संभव हो पाएगा कि जो जो इस देश के सामने चुनौतियां हैं उसको हम मजबूती से उसका सामना कर सके। टुगेदर we can really face the challenges before the country, and I would appeal to all of you to finalize the state agri-export action plans very, very quickly. 14 राज्यों की अभी तक एग्री एक्सपोर्ट प्लान्स हमें मिली नहीं है, अगर वो जल्दी मिल जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा, उनके नाम यहाँ दिए हुए हैं। इसी प्रकार से जिस जिस राज्य ने नोडल एजेंसी और नोडल ऑफिसर अनाउंस नहीं किया, वो जल्द से जल्द नोडल ऑफिसर्स अनाउंस करें। साथ ही साथ स्टेट लेवल और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल की मॉनिटरिंग कमिटीज जो हम सब ने बनानी है, वो हम जल्द से जल्द बनाएं। और केंद्र सरकार भी अलग अलग स्कीम्स में के माध्यम से इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करने में आपकी मदद करती है। राज्य सरकार को भी कुछ उसमें सहमति देनी पड़ती है, कुछ शेयर करना पड़ता है बजट। तो अगर केंद्र और राज्य सरकार मिलके हमारे जो पैसा है, हमारे पास जो बजट्स है, उसको मिलके सोची समझी रणनीति के तहत इन अ प्लान्ड मैनर एज पर एन एक्शन प्लान, if we allocate funds and states also support an allocation of some money for infrastructure development, then I'm sure together we can really give a thrust both to industrial development and exports. And I do hope no state remains under a wrong impression that this is only responsibility of the center, because we all want in our own states jobs, economic activity. With manufacturing, you also develop the service sector. Hotels come up, taxi drivers get work, public transport increases, infrastructure improves, railway lines come there, ports come there, roads come there. So I think it's in the interests of all the states and the central government to work as one team to promote industrial development and export development. So I invite all of you to be an integral part of this journey and work as partners with the central government. Guru Mahapatra ji, you may like to send this whole presentation, and in each of these subjects, who is the concerned joint secretary in your office, his name, your or commerce's office, his name, email ID, mobile number and office number to all the states industry secretaries, so they can be in continuous and direct dialogue with our officials. Thank you very much. and let us continue with the rest of the proceedings.
So with your permission, requesting you for your concluding remarks for the video conference, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sumita ji. Thank you all the honorable ministers who shared their thoughts, their vision, their ideas with us. Ideally, we would have liked all the other states also to share their thoughts and ideas and plans. But for paucity of time, we will not be able to have all the secretaries talking. You may like to kindly send your comments in writing to the Secretary DPIIT or to Joint Secretary Sumita ji, so that they can also be taken on board. And I would also urge all the secretaries to convey to their ministers that we miss them today. If they had come, they would have certainly got a chance to speak also. And frankly, as the Union Minister, I'm also noting how many states are taking interest in these deliberations. This has happened before in the Board of Trade meetings, 2 of them. Today also I find that I'm very happy actually and must thank all the 13 honorable ministers who have joined us. But I do wish the other representatives whose ministers haven't come will convey to their ministers that we certainly miss them, and we also noted that they are not joined. Secretary, I would also like to know if any state has not sent even the secretary to join us. Please put that list up to me separately. And I think in all the schemes that Government of India promotes, particularly for industry or commerce, we must also give preference to those states who participate wholeheartedly and actively in our various initiatives, in our various engagements. And if the states are so busy, the ministers don't have time to interact with us, if they are unable to even share their ideas and thoughts, then I think it's equally important that we also focus our resources to those states who are willing to participate with us more actively. And I'm sure all the honorable ministers who are present here will appreciate what I'm saying, and I hope all the other officials will convey this to their respective states. Some very good ideas, some very good thoughts have come out today. I would like to say that certain things are very, very essential. For example, regulatory certainty. I would not like to take any names, but states which do not provide regulatory certainty miss out on investments. But those states who provide plug and play, who provide relationship managers, like Subhash Desai ji mentioned, state like UP, which has brought out an MSME policy to not only provide plug and play and approval in 72 hours, but also done significant labor reforms. Many other states are also doing labor reforms. I like the thought of Mr. Kaushik about some additional incentives for NRIs to attract them to India. You all also think about it. We will also think. And maybe together we can come up with some ideas. I appreciate what Biswajit said about and what Patwari ji said about policy for the Northeast. We'll certainly look at how we can promote the very, very remote areas, the northeastern states, the hill states, Jammu Kashmir. Smaller states like Goa deserve special attention, and I assure you that I will look at the small states differently. In fact, I like your idea, Biswajit, about land utilization before it gets encroached. In fact, in railways also we are trying to do that. We have vast tracts of land. We are trying to see if we can put solar plants over there, which will help us in railways, but will also save encroachment of railway land. Similarly, I'm glad that Madhya Pradesh has come out with a very robust industrial policy. I compliment the minister from Kerala for having focused on non-resident Indians and how we can engage them in industrial development. Gujarat has been at the forefront of industrial development, and I'm sure they will continue to handhold industries, provide an enabling environment which is fast-tracked so that people who want to invest will get the same comfort and the same enthusiasm that they probably experienced when Prime Minister Modi was there. So I hope you will continue that rich tradition of Gujarat. The Honorable Minister from Tamil Nadu spoke about several initiatives of the state, and I compliment Benjamin ji for that. Yeah, Mr. Ramarao, I am very keen to receive from you more details about your self-certification and deemed approval and how you have backed it up by statute. I am very keen that we should both at the center and states consider backing up regulatory certainty, self-certification, simplified approval process, and deemed approvals by statute, by law, because that is the way forward. It's a very good initiative. I also agree with you that mega scale projects are required. We'll certainly look at that. The idea of relationship managers that Subhash Desai ji spoke about, I think is something all of us can learn from. Even in the center, we are looking at larger projects, having a senior official handhold them. Maybe at the states, you could do the same. Incidentally, if Subhash ji, in one of my engagements with my officials, I had also talked of Kolhapuri chappals. I used to use a lot of Kolhapuri chappals when I was young. And I still remember in 1978, I was only 14 years old when I first visited Kolhapur along with Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, former Prime Minister. And it was a sudden trip. I had no clothes. I had gone in a school uniform to the airport and was wearing school shoes, Bata shoes for that matter, at that point of time. And Vajpayee ji just took me along on a 4-day trip. So I had gone to Kolhapur to buy Kolhapuri chappals and some clothes for myself. And I shared this anecdote with my officers. And my own belief is Kolhapuri chappal alone, one product, has the potential to do $1 billion of exports. 7,500 crore का एक्सपोर्ट सिर्फ कोल्हापुरी चप्पल कर सकते हैं और हमें इनोवेटिव आइडिया सोचते हैं. और एक आइडिया मैं आप सबके साथ शेयर करूं. चप्पल संबंध में मैंने कहा था, जितने विश्व में 5-स्टार होटल्स हैं, अगर हम उनसे कांटेक्ट करें और उनको कहें कि आप कोल्हापुरी चप्पल 2-3 साइज के अपने अलमारी में रखिए, होटल रूम की अलमारी में रखिए, जैसे लोग बाथरोब्स रखते हैं और किसको पसंद आए तो वो खरीद सके, ऐसे अगर हम कोल्हापुरी चप्पल 5-स्टार होटल्स में रखें और लोगों को कहें आप इस्तेमाल करिए, आप खरीद सकते हैं इसको, मुझे लगता है कि एक बहुत बड़ा प्रचार विश्व भर में कोल्हापुरी चप्पल का किया जा सकता है. ऐसे ही जैसे जैसे एक एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट अपने प्रोडक्ट्स हमारे को बताएंगे, हम कोशिश करेंगे ऐसे इनोवेटिव आइडियाज से इन प्रोडक्ट्स को विश्व भर में पहुंचाने के लिए. केंद्र सरकार भी उसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध रहेगा. अंत में 24 सेक्टर्स हमने आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं जिसमें हमारा अनुमान है कि 20 लाख करोड़ का भारत में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोसिस्टम बड़े स्केल पे बनाया जा सकता है. 20 लाख करोड़ का अगले 5 वर्षों में. वो सेक्टर्स भी हमारे अधिकारी आप सबको भेजेंगे. आप लोग भी सोचिए इनमें से कौन से सेक्टर्स आपके राज्य के लिए सूटेबल है. जैसे उड़ीसा में स्वाभाविक रूप से स्टील और एल्यूमिनियम आएगा, उसमें स्वाभाविक रूप से महाराष्ट्र में इथेनॉल या शुगर इंडस्ट्री के आसपास जो जुड़ी चीजें हैं वो सांगली, सतारा वगैरह में आएंगी. स्वाभाविक रूप से सेरामिक्स और ग्लास गुजरात उसको पिकअप कर सकता है. शायद तमिलनाडु और आंध्रा भी उसको पिकअप कर सकते हैं। स्पोर्टिंग गुड्स, जिम इक्विपमेंट्स, जो भी राज्य चाहे उत्तर प्रदेश पिकअप कर सकता है स्पोर्टिंग गुड्स और जिम इक्विपमेंट को। मेडिकल डिवाइसेस तेलंगाना ने बहुत प्रगति की है, उत्तर प्रदेश ने भी जिक्र किया, गुजरात में इसका काफी काम है। एग्रोकेमिकल्स, कोई राज्य जो समुद्र के पास है, जिस पोल्यूशन की चिंता कम हो, ऐसे कोई राज्य एग्रोकेमिकल्स को पिकअप कर सकते हैं, फिशरीज को पिकअप कर सकते हैं। राजस्थान जैसा राज्य एग्रो प्रोडक्ट्स को पिकअप कर सकता है, जिसको फूड प्रोसेसिंग के माध्यम से हम देश विदेश में भेज सकें। तो आई फील देयर आर unique products, and these 24 products are a focus area. I would urge all of you, select which ones of these you want to partner us with, and together let us create this huge new trust. These are only 24 we are focusing on, but the world is much larger. Ecosystem can be much larger. So let us all work together. There are certain things which states can support us by easing regulations, faster approval, deemed approval, cheaper land. Sometimes land is made so expensive it's impossible for small people or industry to buy. Industrial tariff for power because of cross subsidy is very high in many states. Punjab, I think, has started offering at 4.5 or 5 rupees with certainty for 10 or 15 years. I think Madhya Pradesh was also going to do that. I don't know if they finally did it. Maybe all of you could collectively agree that we will offer new investments. Whoever comes and expands his unit or makes new investment in a new unit, maybe we can all agree that for them, we'll give at cost of power, maybe 4 rupees, 4.5 rupees. We can increase by 5% every year, but announce that for 20 years, your power tariff will be like this. Give certainty to industry. That is how we'll be able to promote industrial development, plug and play infrastructure in which we will also help you to create common testing facilities, common effluent treatment plant, common labs, any small activity that can be shared by all the units in a cluster. When we collectively work, I am confident we'll be successful in our efforts. Once again, thank you very much for joining the call today. I wish and pray for the good health of all the colleagues who have joined this conference, this very important engagement. I would also urge you to make sure that once you go back, you will talk to your leaders and immediately start sourcing all your government procurement through GEM. We'll start finalizing your agri-export plans. We'll send us your list of one district, one product. We'll designate nodal agencies and officers at state and district level. We'll set up state level monitoring committee. We'll also use the Make in India public procurement compulsory in your state and ensure that you come up with adequate support to promote industrial development, which will give jobs to your people, which will give you more GST collection, because every unit that comes in, while it may also export, will also sell in the domestic market. So it will give a huge thrust to the economic upliftment of the people of your state. Let us collectively work for a better and brighter future for India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.